Welcome to Natural Born Talents. Today's subject is going to be a little bit more about overlays, chakras or chakras, and the outer layer. Now, people who can see auras generally see the outer layer first. Also, in Killian photography, it seems to be photographing some of this area, not the core auras, as explained in the previous video. That doesn't mean this information is completely useless, but basically what people who see outer layers or the photography of outer layers are only photographing or seeing what is influencing that individual at that specific time. It does not tell that person's psyche that they will carry with them for the rest of their life. Now, that doesn't mean it's totally useless. For example, if somebody can read energy of any sorts, they would see an individual who is not feeling well or who is ill, and their energy and colors will reflect that. Therefore, the reader could say, hey, maybe you want to get some help. Maybe you need a hug. Maybe you need to see a doctor or something like that. So it's not totally useless. But the outer layer, and Killian photography in particular, seem to be only reflecting things of that moment. And there are so many variables that could be influencing the colors of the outer layer. I think it would be very difficult to categorize them all, which is why I think Killian photography in particular gets a bad rap. I don't think there is a whole lot to Killian photography personally. I think it's basically just reflecting auras that can be found on anything, including a rock. However, I am certain that that photography would change if a person's mood or spiritual evolvement or anything else like that would influence the photography. So again, I think if anything, there needs to be more research in that area if somebody wants to pursue diagnostician on a daily basis using that kind of photography. But to me, at this time, it's unreliable and very close, if not pseudoscience. Now, the next part are chakras or chakras, depending upon how you pronounce it. I have seen some videos where people try to infuse auras with chakras. They are related only that if you are meditating on a chakra, for example, it might influence the outer layer of your aura and nothing else, other than the chakra, of course. But the problem with chakras is that in order to get the results that you want, you probably would have to drop out of life and join some cult in a mountain somewhere to see any kind of real results. Having said that, a lot of people are trying to infuse these colors that come with the chakras as some basis to your psyche, and I found no evidence to that whatsoever. It's very misleading. However, that doesn't mean if you meditate on your chakras or the colors of your auras that it's not going to be helpful in some way. It certainly might. However, a lot of people attach psychological meanings to these kinds of things like chakras and outer layers that from my experience are really pushing pseudoscience. Or people push these things just to create some sort of fad. This was true with the Indigo Child and the Heoka empaths. So again, I encourage my listeners to look for the deeper meaning of all of these things. Now, the last part of this video, I'd like to touch on the overlays. Now, there are basically 4 kinds of overlays. The red overlay is what I explained in the previous video. When a child, anywhere from birth to say around 3 years old, has some sort of trauma in their life, they may need that aura to slip in their other auras in order for them to survive. The red overlay has a lot of similarities to the red core aura. The good thing about this aura is that you'll be more physically grounded to this world, can survive things that most people would find a little bit too rough, can push yourself to motivate yourself in directions with courage that you might not have otherwise. However, there is a dark side to this overlay as well. you have this sense of rage constantly boiling in your psyche that is hard to get rid of or control. Just look at the red core aura if you want more information about this. Many people have it. The other three overlays I explained a little bit in the core aura section in the previous video. They are the green tan, blue tan, and the red tan. These are overlay core auras, meaning that they have their own personality different from the basic tan aura, or the basic green aura, or the basic blue aura, or the basic red aura, as you see here in the chart. Now, this only means that the combination of this overlay with the tan color creates a individual personality type that is somewhat related to the tan, but in other ways very different. The tan is a mental aura, and the blue tan is also somewhat mental. The red tan is also a mental color, and the green tan is somewhat a mental color, even though it's more physical with the green tan, more emotional with the blue tan, and more holistic with the red tan. So to sum this all up, why is this important? If you are interested in improving your life, improving your relationships with your loved ones or your partner or family, looking for the deeper meaning of who you are or what you came in the matrix for, or your family, studying the core auras can tell you that. And you don't have to see the auras in order to learn this. You can learn core auras by understanding their basic patterns. Chakras, outer layers, do not give you that kind of information, in my experience. I've never seen anything close to it. And again, if you want to study those things, the outer layers and the chakras, you most likely would learn something. However, if you want to live your life the way that you came into this world to live, and just arm yourself with information about yourself and the people around you in order to make your life more enjoyable, then studying the core auras will be extremely helpful. An example of this just happened to me last week. I ran into a family who had an indigo child, and they were having a lot of trouble understanding the psyche of their child. She could do anything. She was more adult than most adults, etc., etc. So I explained to them, well, you have an indigo child, and this is the psyche that they have. And they were very grateful. But more importantly, this will take a lot of the pressure off that comes with expectations within a family by understanding each other's way of thinking and doing things. Again, anyone can learn this. You don't have to see the auras physically in order to master the core auras. It does take a lot of time. It may take a lifetime to master it, but you can do it. And for me personally, it has helped me in so many ways. It's hard to list them all here, but it has changed how I interact with people, how I teach children, how I communicate with people I don't get along well with, and so on. Well, I hope you found this video informative. If you have any questions, please leave it in the comments section below, and hope to see you in the next video. Thanks again for watching.